Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So, I have been needing reading glasses for a while. I've been having trouble reading, and I got them yesterday. So, look at me, this is my new look. I can't read at all. I was having really hard time reading anything. Well, here I am. Okay, so we're doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 6 today, and we're going to continue to talk. This one was a little bit hard for me, and I will explain why. Okay, so let me sing it. It's Karmendriyani Sanyamya Ya Aste Manasa Smaran Indriyarthan Vimudhatma Mithyacharah Sa Uchyate. So, Karmendriyani Sanyamya. So, this is where okay, let me read the translation first. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. So he's saying if you're acting in all the right ways, but if your mind is in the wrong ways, then you're a pretender. It makes sense, I suppose. I'm just very, very, very sensitive to anything that comes close to being judgmental, and he's calling people, he's being a little bit like, that you are a pretender if you're acting, but you're not, your mind is not there. And as far as I'm concerned, the mind is like, I mean, it's difficult. It's not easy. I can do all the right actions. Many times when I'm thinking on my own, then I think at a lower level, like a baser level, than when I talk to other people. When I talk to people, I sound better because it's there. I mean, it's all there in me. I'm not pretending. At least I'm not consciously pretending, right? I'm not trying to pretend. It's just that when I'm speaking to people, those things that the places where I want to be, the places that I think of myself as are deeper and easier to access when I'm talking to someone else versus when I'm on my own, they are a little harder to access. So my mind goes and wanders in places where, that I don't, I mean, I might, instead of feeling grateful for something that somebody did, I mean, even if if it's a so-called negative thing and if the person hurt me, when I'm talking to someone else, I might have more kindness towards them versus if I'm thinking about them on my own because I might feel a little bit more hurt. Why did this person do this to me? But then when I'm talking to somebody else, I might be able to access the kindness at a better way because people bring out that in me, right? Like that. It's just so it's not. I'm not pretending. Or I'm not trying to pretend it. So I'm very, very, very sensitive to anything like this. Anyways, let me read out the word by word and then. Talk further about it, although I've pretty much mostly covered it. So, Karmendriyani Sanyamya, the five working sense organs, Sanyamya controlling the five sense organs, basically, controlling our five senses. Ya aste manasa smaran, anyone who remains by the mind thinking of. So, anyone who is in the mind thinking of that, even though they're controlling the five senses, even if they're in the mind thinking of that, smaran, remembering, thinking, uh, here is anyone who remains in the mind thinking. Indriyarthan vimudhatma, indriyarthan, sense objects, like so if the thinking of the sense objects, thinking of the things that we want to think of, vimudha is foolish, atma soul, mithya charasa uchyate. Mithyachara, pretender, he is called. Uchyate, like Sri Bhagwan Uvacha, Uchyate, something like that. So he's called a pretender. So one who basically is restraining the sense of action but whose mind dwells on sense objects certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. And Swami Mukundanand says, those who restrain the external organs of action while continuing to dwell on sense objects in the mind certainly delude themselves and are called hypocrites. So, yeah, deludes themselves, I understand better. Like, if you're acting in certain ways, but your mind is still there. So, I mean, growth. There's potential for growth there. So I understand that there is potential for growth, and that is a place where we do need to grow. That is a next step. It's just that I don't like to use the words calling them pretenders, calling them hypocrites, calling them pretenders, calling them mithyachara, you know. I don't like those kinds of words. So that's where the personal growth stuff comes in, right? In the personal growth, we are perfect wherever we are, whoever we are. There is just no concept of judgment. I mean, we feel it. It's not that we don't feel it, but we don't even judge the judger in us. We don't even judge the part of us that's judging. We accept that also, and in this process of total acceptance of ourselves, of where we are, of all of the differences that we have, and all of the what is it like uh, these things that are opposite, right? I'm not finding the right word for it. Things like we were saying something and doing something and doing something and saying, like, all of those things that are like, that seem to be, it's such a simple word that I'm not able, anyways, all of those things that seem to be at odds with each other, that seem to not be coherent, even all of those things we accept, because we are all trying our best. We are absolutely all trying our best, and um, and we're working towards this. And it's like, I don't like this name calling kind of thing, mithyachara. I don't like that part. But anyways, it's okay. I understand the concept behind it, that we want to get to a place, we want to keep growing and keep learning and get to a place where we are coherent, where our mind and action and like the full body is in alignment with everything. Our minds, our actions, our subconscious, our conscious, our intellect, everything is in full alignment because we are there, right? That's what they're talking about. Like, we should be in full alignment. Our mind and our actions, our thinking and our actions should be in full alignment. So that's where we are there. And yeah, I mean, the only thing that I wouldn't do is name call and say mithyachara or hypocrite or pretender or whatever. But yes, the goal is to keep working on ourselves until we're in full alignment. Okay, that's my take. Um, I feel a little bit self-conscious because I'm like, saying to God, "Hey God, the way you're speaking is making is sounding a little bit judgmental." Hey Krishna Bhagwan, I don't know. I yeah, I don't know what to say. Anyways, this is how I feel right now. I might understand. I'm sure I'll understand a lot more as time goes on. Um, yeah. Wish you all a very, very beautiful day. We will do verse 7 tomorrow. Radhe Radhe.